How you doing, guys? My name is Nelson Poe. In the media, Nelson of Semper from Semper Acerbus.
So first off, I assume you formed the band.
Yes, sir, I did.
Okay, so it's named after you.
Yeah.
Okay, so first, when did you form it?
We started Semper Acerbus actually December 24, 2016.
Okay, the lineup you have now, has it been consistent the whole time?
No, actually it doesn't.
Okay.
We changed lineup not because people cannot make it or not. It just sometimes we have too many shows.
Mm-hmm.
And I rather keep the family big, give it an opportunity to people that want to join. And okay, you cannot make this show. I got this guy, and like I said, keep the family big and make the show that if you cannot make it, Semper Acerbus will play that show.
So you're kind of a fluid band. You
Yes.
don't have a set lineup. You have a couple of guys, you know, waiting in the wings.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome. I like that. If you had to give your band a subgenre, what would you consider it to be?
Metalcore.
Okay.
Metalcore.
What draws you to metalcore?
Metalcore has a lot of elements, especially metalcore started like pretty much in the 80s, developed in the 90s, and become really popular in the 2000s. But incorporated a lot of heavy metal, hardcore, and then as the style progressed, they added a little bit of death metal, black metal, and that's what draws us to it. You listen to our music, we got a lot of different stuff that doesn't stick to one style, you know? So that's what draws to it. All these elements that we can put it together and make one specific sound.
Okay. Now, just generally musically, not speaking vocally, because you are the vocalist, am I not mistaken? Yes. So, speaking just generally musically, who influences or inspires you?
Life experiences and memories, you know? That's my biggest motivator. My family too, you know, like growing up, different experiences makes me write certain ways. And on the same token, moving to the States, because I'm from Puerto Rico originally, getting new experiences makes the pen a little bit different, you know? You know, I got a lot of good experiences, like anybody else, and bad experiences at the same time.
Yeah.
So that's exactly what drives us. Something that you guys can relate.
Okay. What do you pull influence from musically?
I started really young, playing instruments. Went to school, then started classical, opera, stuff like that. But on the metal field, we go from heavy metal to death metal or deathcore. But my main bands, it's like Killswitch Engage, Acylate Dying, Trivium, and then the classic Metallica, Megadeth, Slayer, you know? So it's a big blend of everything.
So we said before that you are the vocalist of the band. Who would you say influences you the most as far as vocals go? Where do you feel that your style comes from?
Okay, and that's really funny, because to me, my main influence is Jesse Leach from Killswitch Engage, which I had an interview today with him. So it's kind of surreal that I had my idol interviewing me in his radio show, and we're really happy of how things are going. So it will be Jesse Leach.
Did you get a chance to like gush about him and be like, oh my God, you're my favorite?
Yeah, we have been developing a relationship. I mean, we cannot say we're friends, but we're messaging back and forth for 2 years now, and he really digs the sound. Like, you listen to the interview today, he expresses it, you know? So it's pretty neat, man. It was a very powerful moment today, me talking to him, and he know who I am and what my band thrives to, you know?
So we're going to talk a little bit about the present now, and we were talking a little bit before the interview about your single, Resilience.
Yes.
And tell me a little bit about the songs that you have on there.
Okay, started with the single Resilience. I wrote that song about people that go into struggles and how to become empowered in their own life and not to settle for less, just to keep looking for their dreams and feeling better about themselves. You know, we wrote the song. Marcos Leal from El Niño. It's a featuring artist, and when I showed him the song, he was really interested in forming part of that bond, and it came out really good. And that's actually the first single. Now the album is in the last stages of mastering and mixing, and I believe we have a great product to put out to everybody else out there.
Okay, so you got an album coming out.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
The album gonna consist of 10 songs, one single previously released, remastered, and 9 brand new songs that we haven't released. We're gonna play actually 2 today.
Okay.
This show today in San Antonio Bonds, and we're really excited, man. Like, we're really happy. We got a great producer. We had a great chemistry, and everything's coming out together. And that's why I think people from Killswitch and everybody else can tell it captured it. You know.
Okay. Do you have an idea when it's coming out?
Probably we're gonna release singles of the album instead of just releasing the full album, just to keep it a little bit more relevant. And because of the COVID-19 and stuff like that, there's not too many places to play. So probably we're gonna release our second single this month for sure.
Okay. That actually leads into my next question. How has COVID-19 affected the band?
It affected pretty much the live performances, but I always look at the silver lining. We had a lot of time to work on our new music, our new album. We had a lot of practice. We worked a lot on the advertising, marketing, image of the band. So yeah, it was bad, but we got to work on a lot of stuff that we didn't have the time to.
You made the most of it.
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay, so aside from an album coming out, what do you feel comes next for the band? What do you want to see in the next 5 years for Semper Acerbus?
Well, actually, we have a lot of big festivals lined up, and that's our main goal: exposing ourselves, our music, to bigger crowds, different public. Normally, we play in Texas because we're from Texas, so we want to expand our horizon and reach out. You know, that's our main goal.
Since you mentioned Texas, how do you feel you fit in with the Texas metal scene?
I think Texas metal scene is really good. Right now, they play 3 awesome bands today in this lineup, and I think the camaraderie and the scene in Texas comes together. I don't think there's no rivalry, stuff like that. So that's what I like. You know, I like about Texas.
Okay, awesome. All right, you ready?
Yep.
Boxes of briefs.
Briefs.
Chicken or steak?
Steak.
Coffee or tea?
None.
Waffles or pancakes?
Pancakes.
Elvis Presley or the Beatles?
Presley.
Black Sabbath, do you prefer Dio fronting or Ozzy?
Dio.
Who would win in an arm wrestling match, Lemmy or God?
That's a trick question. Lemmy is God.
You got it. You'd be surprised how many people get that wrong. Sum up Metallica's last 15 years in 3 words or less. If the band were stranded on a desert island, which member gets eaten first?
Which one? Say that again.
Which member gets eaten first if your band were stranded on a desert island?
My band?
Yeah.
Luis. You got the most meat in the band.
Answer is typically the big guy or the bassist.
Yeah, he's the bassist and the big guy.
There you go.
Do not try this at home. It's actually good.
Yeah.
It's actually good.